One of the challenges here is that each of the actors had to hold their own against the presence of a character like Martin's.
If they don't play well off each other, then you really don't have a movie.
The supporting cast is critical.
If you couldn't find a new partner for Martin Lawrence, the whole thing just wouldn't have worked.
We were doomed if we didn't have Nia Longback. If we hadn't found Josh, that character would not have been in the movie. And we saw a ton of kids.
If the chemistry didn't work, picture sunk.
Oh my goodness!
The movie's about Martin Lawrence. Nia Long and he are married. She's now pregnant, and she's very concerned that his life is too dangerous, so she's made him move into being PR for the FBI.
But he gets pulled back into a case because one of his buddies is found murdered.
So he dives in, unbeknownst to his wife, and goes undercover as Big Mama to infiltrate a family in Orange County.
This is Big Mama. She's gonna be our new nanny.
He actually goes double undercover in that he's keeping a secret from his wife.
You sure these aren't yours? Well, how big do you think I am?
Obviously, Big Mama's House is carried primarily by Martin Lawrence portraying this wonderful character. But if you surround him with people that are talented and funny, the whole just increases.
The biggest challenge we had going into the film, and the first thing that we addressed in casting, was finding Kevin, the new partner, the new buddy for Martin Lawrence's character Malcolm.
Paul Giamatti, who was fantastic in the first one, and I would have loved to have him in the second one. But the truth is, he had 3 other movies going, and it just didn't look like it could possibly work.
We saw probably hundreds of young, up-and-coming comic actors, and it was finding that right mix, you know?
The partner has to generate a lot of humor on his own. The day Zach Levy came in, John and Weitzel and I were sitting together saying that was him.
I only sent over 1 tape to the Fox casting people, and I said, this is who I want.
The chemistry has to be right. So finding Zachary Levi was just a real blessing. We were really lucky to find him.
He's a talented guy. He's very funny, you know what I mean? So he brought a lot of energy, you know, to the scenes.
Please advise, I just made BM in the back of a cab.
You did what?
Big Mama! I saw Big Mama in the back of a cab, and now I'm going to get VD. Visual data. Never mind.
Zach and Martin need to be able to play off each other. And I could tell right away that that was gonna work.
Malcolm would never cheat on me, especially not with... This is like 4 yards of lace.
The next big challenge was getting Nia Long back. You know, in the first movie, Nia, it was about them. It was about them falling in love.
The challenge was really making sure that we could work our dates around her life and her commitments so that she could be available to us. It was important to us, to Fox, and to Martin Lawrence that she come back. When audiences respond to a film in the way they did to Big Mama, you know, they loved it. You want to try to keep those pieces in place for a sequel.
She just knows Martin's rhythms. She knows how to get a laugh when you didn't even see it coming.
We keep it real with each other, you know what I mean? We don't sugarcoat nothing. We just say what we feel, and we're honest with each other, and it's just a cool relationship to have, you know?
The key to comedy is that you have to believe the moment. You have to be so in the moment that you believe that everything that you're being told is what it is.
A woman this big wearing a thong? That can't be comfortable.
So you have to be a little bit naive. Sometimes you gotta act stupid.
I lose control of this thong, it could disappear for days.
An additional challenge was casting the role of Stuart, who is the 12-year-old computer genius played by Josh Flitter.
The hard thing with a kid like that is, like, I described him as, I want a little Danny DeVito. That's who the role was written for. And you know, that kid does not exist.
We needed a kid who would be great with comedy, able to throw off these sarcastic, witty lines, and look like, you know, he was in, you know, 4th, 5th, 6th grade.
I was ready to cut the role. I was gonna write him out if we couldn't find him.
What do you think I'm trying to do here? Get free HBO? It's just hard.
We looked at so many kids, and we were lucky enough to find Josh, who is the funniest little kid I've seen in a long time.
We read kids after kids after kids, and if they hadn't sent them to us from New York, we'd have been in trouble.
Mom will never believe this.
Martin Lawrence playing a guy who's not good at being a family man, now playing Big Mama, being a nanny, is where the comedy lies. The hard part is How do you put a family together that looks like a real family?
For the oldest sister of the family, Molly, we found Kat Dennings, up-and-coming young actress who is kind of funny and punky and great.
I wanted a girl that was more relatable and real, and Kat certainly fits all that. And I loved her from the beginning because she's so interesting.
Kat is like her name. You know, she's just laid back, but when that camera comes on, she hits her mark, and she's very talented.
And then we had sister number 2, Carrie, who's the more sensitive, emotional of the children. Again, we saw many, 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 many kids for that. And we cast Chloe Grace Moretz.
Chloe's real cool.
Now become one with the butt.
Here you have Big Mama trying to encourage this little kid to let her know that you can do anything that those other girls can do. You just have to be confident and positive, and that was fun.
Oh my goodness!
And then, of course, we had to cast the role of Baby Andrew. The interesting thing about Baby Andrew is that he doesn't speak, he doesn't talk, but he jumps.
You're asking a little boy to jump off a bunk bed or off a refrigerator or off the top of a jungle gym.
Boy, you are two kinds of crazy.
What 3 or 4-year-old doesn't want to do that?
We must have seen, I don't know, 50 twins, sets of twins.
Children at that age can only be worked a certain amount of time, a limited amount of time. So by having twins, you maximize the amount of time you can shoot the kid.
There were days that they didn't want to, they were in kid mode, so they didn't want to be doing the acting stuff, and we had to kind of be patient.
You have no leverage over a 3-year-old. They look at you, you can't say, I'm gonna fire you. They say, good, I wanna go home anyway. Their career is of no importance to them.
That's the main concern. Am I gonna be able to get my day with these kids?
The kids who are finally cast are Preston and Trevor Shores, the Leaping Children.
To cast the movie, you need a philosophy, and our philosophy was everybody in the movie has to be able to be funny as well as be a good actor or actress.
If you don't cast it right, you're not gonna have a movie. If you don't cast it right, the movie's not gonna work.
I think it's as important as the script, as important as anything. Because what you're doing is you're creating a family. The choices you make in the casting process might be the most profoundly important choices to the success or failure of the movie.
Big Mama got this. I got it.